Hey YouTube, what's going on? Jeff here. Just realized it's been a couple of weeks since my last installment in what I was hoping would be a weekly "What I'm Thinking About Now" segment. Uh, Please forgive the disheveled look. I just stepped out of the shower and I've got something on my mind, so I'm going to share it. Um, as a lot of people do, I made a New Year's resolution to better myself. You know, like a lot of people do, they say, "Oh, I'm going to hit the gym," or "I'm going to give up smoking," or anything like that. Well, thankfully, I didn't have smoking to start with, so that's not an option for me. Um, yeah, we got the weights, been using them, so that's better. But the one I wanted to talk about was my path to complete and total sobriety. Now, what I mean by complete and total, um, I want to be free of any mind altering substances whatsoever. Now, drugs have not been a thing in my life for coming on 20 years, and it never even got that bad. Well, I shouldn't say that bad, but I never did any of the hard stuff. You know, as people in mid 20s will do, or, early 20s, late teens, whatever. Smoke pot at a party, um, you know, tried a couple other things, but I never really got into the hard stuff. So thankfully, that was not something that I had to rule out. Um, Now, my complete and total sobriety, um, the primary things that I'm looking at cutting out of my life, alcohol. I was, we'll say, a little more than a casual drinker. I don't think I could have even been borderline alcoholic since, again, my mid, maybe late 20s. Um, and here I am, I'm over 40 now. Definitely a social drinker, habitual for sure. Um, I have a glass of, have of my favorite spirit, maybe one or two of my glasses of my favorite spirit, or whatever I was in the mood for to unwind after a day. It didn't even have to be a hard day or a long day or a day at work. It was just a day, right? Sun came up, sun went down, kids are in bed, have a drink. So that was one of my New Year's resolutions. I made that one and decided to try and stick to it about a week before New Year's Eve. Had my last drop of alcohol on December 30th, and here we are, February 19th, and I haven't even looked back. In fact, one thing I did to help myself was I rounded up all the leftover alcohol in the house. Half finished bottles, unfinished bottles, unopened bottles. I had a bottle of Chambord sitting in the back of a cupboard somewhere, and it was, I just rounded it all up and I tried to give it to my brother, as I know he is still a social drinker. He wouldn't take it, so thank you, Tim. Good decision. Um, Thankfully, somebody that was at his workplace, which is where I was visiting him, oddly enough, to pick him up for a hockey game, he had a coworker that was more than happy to take all his booze off my hands. So it's gone. Not a drop left in the house, and it's not coming back. Uh, so yeah, now I just need to get rid of my barware, right? All the glasses, martini glasses, stuff like that. We don't have the booze here to put it in, or to put in it, I should say. And now it's time to just get rid of the glassware. So yeah, the next thing I want to try cutting out, maybe see how I'm doing after about a year. Come December 30th of 2019, see how I'm doing with the booze, and the next is going to be the tough one. It's going to be the caffeine. I love my coffee. Thankfully, I haven't had soda or pop or whatever you call it in actually a lot longer than alcohol. So um, that's been cut out. But it's the coffee in the morning that needs to go. I do enjoy it. It's nice to have a cup of coffee while you're kind of getting set for your day in the morning, and it's a habit that's going to be hard to break. I tried it once, and green tea was my replacement. And while I do enjoy the taste of green tea, not too familiar with the tastes of other teas that are out there, and I know green tea still has a little caffeine in it. Um, it definitely upset the stomach, something fierce. So I gotta find another alternative. Maybe if it comes to the same as what I'm doing with replacing the caffeinated soft drinks. Um, I don't know, man. Like I'm using water, and I just don't know if that's gonna cut it in place of coffee. And that's gonna be a tough journey. So, yeah, after that, probably junk food. Everybody wants to get off the junk food. The salty snacks are my vice. Potato chips, popcorn, you know, trail mix, as delicious as that is, you know, it's all about a path to a better life, right? Um, that's my pledge to wellness. I'm looking after my body, and in turn, my mind is following. And that's one thing that has been noticed by a number of people around since I stopped drinking. My kids say I'm more pleasant to be around, and that is the huge one. So, you know, I don't have it as bad as a lot of people out there. I will not even try to profess that I have been in the same situations because I haven't. Um, if you are going through a struggle to become sober and you're far more dependent on alcohol than I was, then I applaud you for your courage to even start that journey. So, share your story if you like. Comment below. I'll try to make this little segment a little more regular, something that's on my mind, hopefully something that's a little more impactful. And all I can say is that I'm a hobbyist. I am by no means an expert in any field, so anything I post, please do not take it as advice or anything more than that. So, it is simply my point of view, and I hope that you share some aspect of it, or that it can help you in some way, even if it's to get out there and get help. So, if you're on the path to sobriety, stay strong. You can do it. Rely on your loved ones, and the support is out there. So, I wish you all the best, and thank you for your time.